gentlemen, this is Liam Catterson here, but you already knew that, and today we're going to be reviewing the top 10 episodes of 2016 from my perspective. So what that means is that we'll be reviewing top 10 episodes from what I've seen in 2016. Doesn't necessarily mean that they came out in 2016, but this is, for me personally, for what I felt was the best episodes, I guess, for my viewing experience throughout the year. And we are also going to consider that reactions are going to play part of this. So that means only episodes that I've reacted to, of course, apply. So let's get this list going, because there's a lot to discuss about the episodes that I've selected. I've come to a conclusion eventually. So let's get reviewing. So number 10 is Jessica Jones and What Would Jessica Do? And that was a fun episode because in the last episode everything went to hell, and you know, we saw that Jessica was about to hand herself in, but you know, Kilgrave intervened, and yeah, Jessica was basically forced to live under Kilgrave's claw. But it was such a fun episode because, I don't know, it was just so interesting to see it was an extended dynamic between Kilgrave and Jessica, and also we got to see a little bit of 10, including that line which I'm still kicking myself to this day to about not, you know, oh my god, you're not 10 anymore. Yeah, that was a fun episode. I think it was probably one of the best of the series, and Jessica Jones is probably the best Marvel product I've reacted to all year. I mean, Daredevil was good. Luke Cage is currently doing good. Remember, that's getting reacted to the second half of the year. But Jessica Jones episode 7 was, I think it was episode 7, was pretty awesome. Number 9 is The Flash in Invincible. That was the penultimate episode of season 2, and that episode was pretty insane because, well, we had Laurel come back, but as Black Siren, and also we had what happened with Henry, which hurt so much. And no, I think that was I don't know, in some areas I thought it was better than the finale itself, but I think Invincible was pretty awesome. It was a pretty fun episode. It was a pretty intense episode, if I have to say. Number 8 is Daredevil in A Cold Night in Hell's Kitchen, the finale of season 2. So season 2, obviously I started reacting to Daredevil this year, but see, a lot of people were saying how season 2 was better than season 1. They were right, and you know, there was a few awesome episodes of season 2, but I do love the finale so much. I had a nightmare trying to compress it down to under 10 minutes, but I think if I followed my code today, I think I wouldn't be having these issues because I would have gone over 10 minutes. But this was still cautious time, but still the episode itself was just amazing and emotional as well, because Elektra supposedly died, and being a fan of Elektra throughout the season, it got to me, it killed me inside, and it was just a great episode, a great way to go out on. I didn't think the Hand were a greater villain than not Kilgrave, but Kingpin was, like Wilson Fisk, but I did think that they had a great impact. There was a lot of moments where I was just so bloodlust, emotional, hyped. It was an insane episode, an emotional roller coaster. So number 7 is Arrow and Invasion. So I had to pick one. I had to at least pick one Invasion episode, and I liked them all, but I think for nostalgia value, Arrow Invasion was pretty great. But it was so fun as well because it was just insane, especially the finale, the final bit, because you had all the villain, well, apart from Ra's al Ghul. It was like the best thing ever. It was one of the best fights I've ever seen, but the story itself was pretty awesome. I mean, you had Dig being the Green Arrow because Oliver didn't get stranded on Lianyi, and it was great seeing Laurel return, even though we saw her an episode later, of course, but still, that still got to us. Like, Lovell was with Oliver, and you had Moira and Robert still alive. It was just a was just a great kind of Arrow point episode, you could say. And I'm glad to see Arrow is back on the rebound this year after the dismal season 4 that we endured earlier this year. But like I said, Arrow season 5 so far has been phenomenal and probably the best season 2. Another episode of The Flash takes for number 6 in Versus Zoom. So this was a fun episode as well because one, they nailed the references in terms of Formula 1. I was so stoked. I bet everyone who knows me was like, oh my god, Liam's gonna lose his shit. I don't know if anyone thought that, but I certainly did. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to nerd out the F1 here. But not just that though, because it was a great episode from Barry against Zoom. It was so fun, it was so amazing. The final part where like Zoom drained Barry's speed and to go fast, just as we had hope. But not just that though, it had one of the most mean lines of The Flash all year, you can't lock up the darkness. It was a fun episode overall, and I really loved that episode so much, but I think Versus Zoom was one of the best things I've seen. It was so enjoyable. I had a hard time compressing it down as well. It was so fun seeing Barry on I guess equal speed to Zoom, because obviously throughout the season we knew Zoom was kicking Barry's ass because he was much faster than him. So we're beginning the top 5 now, and at number 5 is Stranger Things Chapter 6. And first of all, I've got to say a huge thanks to Seska Says for recommending me this series. It was such a fun series to react to watch. The storyline was so engrossing, it was amazing. Like, there was not a moment where I was not interested at all. But yeah, Chapter 6, The Monster, that episode was completely insane, if I have to be fair, because there was a couple of badass scenes, mostly from 11, but there was also other areas where it was just completely badass. Like the fight scene with Jonathan, I was like rooting, I was like yes, yes, yes. But no, 11 was completely badass as well, like shoplifting, not giving a single shit in the world about what she did, like, and then she basically showed those assholes who were torturing Dustin, who was boss basically. She basically put the foot down, and it made me love 11 more. It was it was an episode where, like, I don't know, my love for 11 just escalated by 500% basically. I just loved Stranger Things so much this year. Can't wait for it next year. Of course, I will be reacting to it next year, but like I said, that series was such phenomenal, and I loved the monster so much. I loved all the episodes really, but I think there was so many moments in that episode where, you know, I could just get a bag of popcorn if I liked it, and, you know, just be like, yes, this is just one of the best things I've seen all year. So we're continuing with Stranger Things for number 4, and in Chapter 8. So Chapter 8, which was the finale, was such a journey. Like, there was so much that went on emotionally. It was gut-wrenching. Of course, one of my favourite characters dies this year. Well, so we seem to believe. That seems to be the case with the tone, but don't count this one out yet. No, but I just loved that episode so much. It was such a great finale. It was it tied up everything, I guess you could say, for season 1, but leaving questions for season 2 potentially. And I just loved it so much. Will and in the mirror scene, that was totally freaky and left fans wondering, I guess you could say. But also, like, they were wondering what's up with 11, because some, like yours truly, don't believe that she's totally out of the woods yet. But, you know, that's why we have season 2. Not only that, but because it was a fantastic series as well. So I can't wait to see Stranger Things season 2. So we're beginning the top 3 episodes with Game of Thrones season 6 episode 2, which was Home. And you know what? I could list half of Game of Thrones season 6 on this list, because season 6 was probably one of the best things to happen in the world of 2016. For such a grim year it's been, even though there was a lot of grim moments of season 6, it was so it was so enjoyable. It was so fantastic. The stories were just amazing and mesmerizing. I mean, there were so many great moments in that episode, and plus it kind of pushed me, I guess you could say, because that one scene, which I'll get onto in a moment, was on MTV Fandom Awards, and that was such a great moment for me. But no, the episode itself was pretty insane. I mean, yeah, it escalated Ramsey's character so much. I mean, not only did he do the ultimate backstabbing, which you could use that term loosely if you want, of his dad, but not only that, he also gave one of the most savage deaths, which is kind of ironic, I guess you could say right now, to Walder and her son, which was cruel. You didn't get to see it on screen, but you could imagine it in your head, the screams and what was going on. It was so traumatizing. The resurrection of Jon Snow, which has one of the most mark-out moments ever of any reaction that I've done. No, he just woke up, surprising everyone, and I was just so hyped because Jon Snow is obviously one of my favourite characters. I was gutted when he died, and to see him resurrected and then him going full badass in the next episode was just amazing. So Game of Thrones Season 6, definitely something awesome. Number 2 will be Arrow and What We Leave Behind, which is a strange choice, but it was so fun, that episode. Like, we got Season 1 nostalgia in there, because usually for obviously those who watch Arrow, they know that the flashbacks usually comprise of, you know, the time on the island, or so we seem to believe, and Oliver's journey before Arrow started. But no, this was started before Season 1, because this was started during Season 1, sorry, the flashbacks. And this was because we assumed Prometheus's identity. It's not clear yet, and I don't think it's that Claiborne child. I don't really believe it. I'm still hoping for Tommy. So yeah, but in all seriousness, it was such a fun episode. That ending was just amazing with Laurel coming back. We'll obviously have to find out in a few weeks' time what the full extent of that is, but it was just so fun. Especially that fight scene between Billy and Oliver, because we found out that Billy was killed and set up by Prometheus to be Prometheus, which is kind of funny because everyone was predicting that Billy was Prometheus. He technically was. It was so sad when Oliver accidentally killed him. Like, he didn't know it was Billy that was manipulated under the hood. And that fight scene though was just great because it was kind of mirroring what Oliver did years ago to present day. So fun. But that episode was just great, especially the star cutting the arrow. That was just insane. Honourable mentions that I've listed down: the Flash rupture, which was pretty fun because they did 2 big moments of comic book history for the Flash in one scene, I guess you could say, with Crisis of Infinite Earth and Flashpoint. Jessica Jones' smile, which was the finale. That was such a great finale. The rest of the Invasion crossover for the CW in that week, that was so great. But I think Arrow just stood up more. Daredevil 7 Minutes in Hell, which was so great to see Frank going badass in the prison, and that was just so fun to watch. It was like the violence was just escalated so much. And because, like I said, Game of Thrones, I could list half of Season 6 on the list. The honourable mentions for The Door, which was a gut-wrenching episode. It was really packed with so much adrenaline. And of course, Battle of the Bastards, which was satisfying, so epic. Like, it was one of the best battle things I've seen all year. So that leaves us with number 1. And that is Game of Thrones: The Winds of Winter. So I think this was the best episode overall this year. I mean, there was so much that was going on, there was so much revelation, there was so much dramatic scenes, and it was so much, like, I mean, thinking about that episode is just so hyped alone, because you had Cersei being the the boss basically. She blew up the set, killing off half of the characters of Game of Thrones, and like you couldn't process the deaths because it just happened in a flash, and it was just so insane what happened. Like everyone that I've watched, at least their mouths was like their jaws dropped to the floor because of what happened and how much damage she did, and it sets up how much of an impact her character will be for season 7. We got to see the murder of Walder Frey, which was a gift for the fans, especially for those who really felt a good kick in the gut with the Red Wedding, including me. It was so great to see Arya return that fast as well. I don't think anyone really predicted it. I didn't, but it was just so great to see that, and it was just so satisfying. It was like 2 weeks in a row we had satisfying deaths with Ramsay, and then we had Walder Frey. The LNR theory was basically confirmed, which was really great to see. So fun to see. Tommen's King Landing, taking it literally. We all get the joke. There was just so much happening, and then obviously it sets up season 7 where Daenerys is going to kick ass, and I think season 7 is going to be one of the best things ever of next year. So that is my top 10. Of course, you guys might have a different opinion of what may be the best episodes of 2016 for you, but this is just from my perspective, of course, my opinion, and you know, how there were probably memorable moments in my reactions, of course, as well. But overall, I think there were so many great episodes this year that was aired during 2016. And favourite film trailer, of course, has to be Rogue One, the official trailer #1. So, because I can watch that over and over again and still feel hyped. But even if I've seen it, but no, this was my list of the top 10 episodes of 2016, and like I said, there was so many great episodes, some probably not so much, and there was a few reactions where I just wanted to rant because of how shoddy the product was, especially in trailers. But no, it was such a great year overall for episodes, especially if you Game of Thrones or Stranger Things, which will be anticipated through next year, of course, and I just can't wait to see what 2017 has to offer in media. So that is the top 10 episodes of 2016. I hope you enjoyed this, but you can check out the top 10 Doctor Who revival episodes by Watch Mojo reaction that I did, and you can find out my thoughts on what should have been included on the list, what I thought was an agreeable choice. You could also check out my episode 2, the Catterson Chronicles Christmas Special, The Nightmare Before Christmas. It really sets up Series 2 really well. You can also subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my media feeds. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll be doing a top 10 of 2016 moments for me. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!